a first for you.
Yeah, first year with back-to-back coordinators, and I didn't really understand how underrated that was until obviously now. So understand, I mean, nothing's really new to me. So, you know, with the verbiage, the play calls, you know, how he sees things playing out in the run game, pass game, protection, so many different things, you know. I mean, as you would think, just comfort, and it gives me a lot of confidence knowing kind of in a play call, you know, how he sees it going into it. Man, I can get inside of his mind and really go execute it the way he sees it playing out against certain teams, certain looks, whatever it may be.
Whether it was coming here or like when Levy left after your first year at Ole Miss, is it really like learning a new language? How would you try to, you know, analyze it for somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's coordinators across the country who do similar things and you know, come from the same tree and will use the same language. But you know, with my experience, I came from, you know, Lane Kiffin's kind of offense. So, you know, going from year one to year two, my freshman to sophomore year was a little bit similar because he's such an offensive mind. But, you know, coming from Ole Miss to here, it's totally, you know, nothing's the same. You know, football's football, and people are going to be in similar places, you know, and all that. But the way things are called, it's like English and Spanish and Mandarin and like French, and like that's just how it is. But once you get it, and you know, I had an understanding of football and X's and O's, you know, it's just learning those words, and that's really it.
You played really well against Minnesota last year, but after the injury, it seems like they went with the hot hand. How did that impact you coming into this year?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken on it a lot, man. It was a difficult time, obviously it was, but because I wanted to be out there, I wanted to grow with my teammates, wanted to be that leader for them on the field, and wanted to compete. You know, that's, you know, ultimately why I'm here. To you know, my dream was to play college football, not to, you know, be on the sideline. So you know, being able to be on the field means a lot. So it was difficult. You know, at the time I didn't really understand, you know, why God was putting me in that position, and you know, some days were hard, some days were you know, difficult to come up and show up. But man, I just remembered that, you know, God, you know, had a perfect vision for me, and you know, I'm really seeing that come into fruition now, and so excited to go display that growth that I've experienced physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and in all those ways, and really excited to go put that on display.
So obviously you guys want to cut down on the sacks you gave up. Offensive line, you guys some pretty bullish on it, but what's your role in that, and what kind of did you learn from the experience last year?
Yeah, sacks are, you know, always just, you know, a skewed stat. You know, the offensive line gets way too much hate for that stat, and you know, the outside regular fan or whoever it may be doesn't really notice that. So many people are, you know, saying, "Oh, this line should do this, that, and the other." But man, so much of that is, you know, on me as well, being able to navigate the pocket, understand where pressure's coming from, and feeling my way through things. A lot of that comes with reps and you know, understanding, you know, week to week, you know, different edge rushers or different, you know, whatever it may be. But you know, like I said, you know, man, going into year two with Coach Lenny's offense and just being here simply, you know, I just have a lot of comfort and you know, within that space, because that was one area I struggled with, and you know, I think one area of physical growth, and one thing I worked on was, man, my feet, my drops and stuff like that, getting, you know, different depths in the pocket and things like that, and it's really been helpful, and feel really confident going into that for sure.
You said you guys can be more explosive. What about your weapons? Do you think, like, what's changing? Obviously you had 3 really good receivers last year, but feels like you guys have more maybe this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, obviously you have the return of Pat Bryant, who's already had, you know, production here and has done some great things, and one of our captains. So you know, he's going to do what he does, and there's no secret to that. And Zakari as well. Obviously he's new to this program, but he's not new to college football. Obviously with the production and the yards he's racked up over you know, his years of college football. But you know, behind that, there's guys that are going to have to, you know, be thrusted into, you know, some major roles. And like I said before, they're ready for that. They've trained for it, prepared for it, and I think they're confident of it. And it feels like throughout camp, you know, each day it was somebody else's day. Like it was Malik's day, or it was Alex's day, Alex Cappa-Jones, or Canaries, or Colin Dixon. There was, you know, so many different guys who just made incredible, consistent plays. And you know, I have no doubt whoever's out there, whether it's an outside receiver, slot guy, they're going to be in the right spot and, you know, do their job.
Luke's pretty good player at left tackle, right? So is there a comfort level that you have knowing you got a guy like JC protecting the blind side?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, that left tackle position for a right-handed quarterback is super important at all levels, and you know, he's such a good dude. Where like, you know, we can chop it up in the locker room or wherever we are, and you know, I just have a trust in him that goes further than just the field. And obviously, he's done some really great things where he was at, and that's the reason why he's here, and he's going to continue to do those because of how hard he's worked, how he's really been cohesive with that offensive line, and really just meshed well with that culture. So I have no hesitance or doubt of how he'll translate his game, or you know, however you may see it. But he's excited. I know he is to be able to just go play with us, and I'm excited to go play with him.
Are there some key indicators you want to take away from game one where you can point to, hey, the work paid off and I did I did that, and improved in those areas?
Yeah, I mean we just talked about, you know, the sacks, and you know, you come off last season wanting to jump back into another game to kind of fix your mistakes, and you have 8 or 9 months of, you know, waiting around to be able to, you know, get your next game action to correct those mistakes or whatever it may be. So yeah, definitely going into the first game, you're gonna you know, want to see those things show up, and I'm really confident that those things will, because of, like I said, the work I put in, the intentionality of and the detail that and the focus I put into each and every little nuance that I think I need to correct. And obviously there'll be some incredible excitement going out there for the first time again for a new season, and maybe some jitters or whatever for everybody, but I know once we settle in, and you know, I think a big goal for us is starting fast too. Yeah, it'll be fun after that first drive to be able to learn, and after the second drive learn, and you know, really see those things come into play.
Two night games to open the season. How does the work you guys have done during camp